So you've made the big move. You found a place that supports your new lifestyle. You found a place to move to and you're feeling good about it. Now, the exciting part, right? You get to figure out what to do with all of your things. Not that exciting? Well, maybe not so, but let's talk about some tips to make that process go a little bit easier. So right now, this is part 4 of a 4-part series. And if you've already ready to move, you've probably seen part 1, 2, and 3, which was planning was part 1 and 2. There's a lot of planning, a lot of organizing that kind of goes into finding a new place to live that fits your new lifestyle. And then also how to communicate that with your family and friends, which is all about what part 3 is. Now we're in part 4, which is, oh my goodness, what to do with all of your things. And if you're like me, you probably have put some things in closets that you thought you might need, or you're gonna give it away another time. And now it's time to kind of pull some of that out and see if you actually really need it. My name is Julie Spalding. I sell real estate here in the Kansas City market with Weichert Homes, and I'm very excited to be here with you today. So in this video, we are just gonna break down, like, maybe who are some people that can help you with this process of downsizing and decluttering and simplifying, whatever words you wanna use. So a lot of people use family and friends, and I think that's great. Sometimes family and friends can get burnt out. There's a lot of emotions involved. And so in addition to having your family help you, sometimes it's helpful to have somebody who can come in and maybe help you organize or declutter. There are also people out there that are called professional move managers. And what's great about them is they help you through the process from beginning to end. So they will help you organize and pack. They will also organize someone to come move everything to the new place. They will help you sometimes liquidate things that you no longer need. And what's awesome is they will then, if you'd like, come into your new place and help you put everything away, which I love. I don't mind packing, but I do not like putting things away. It stresses me out. So that part I think I would love quite a bit. Of course, you've also heard of estate planners. You've heard of liquidators. One nice thing about liquidators is that you kind of take everything that you want out of the house, leave anything that you don't want, the things that your family doesn't want. And then with the liquidator that comes in, what they do kind of does a net analysis, like, okay, I can sell these things, but ooh, I can't do much with these. I'm gonna have to, get rid of these, and does like an analysis. And hopefully you come out with a little bit of money. Sometimes you are paying them a little bit to get rid of things, but what's great is that you don't have to think about it anymore. You take what you want and you leave the rest, and the house is cleaned out and ready to go for the next person, or ready to put it on the market to sell. Those are some options that people like, and some people that can help you in that process. As a real estate agent, I do have a team of people that I kind of have vetted, that I like, that I think they do a great job. Of course, you can use whoever you want in that process, but if you need some suggestions here in the Kansas City area, I can definitely help you out with that. And if you're somewhere else, I can find out some information and some other people who work in this industry as well. So let's just talk about some simple 101 tips for getting things moved. The first thing I want to say, and this is maybe, I guess this would be a tip, but if you can start before you're ready to move, even if it's, maybe you've planned things out and it might be a couple years before you move, anything that you can start organizing or planning or donating or giving away or selling beforehand is going to be greatly appreciated by any of those people that are helping you. And again, it kind of gives you that sense of control. But you know what? A lot of people don't want to do that. My grandfather was like, I'm leaving all this stuff for you kids and you grandkids, and that was his plan. He was just going to leave it for everyone. My grandmother, on the other hand, she just had an estate sale. You've probably heard in some other videos, she moved into assisted living recently, and she had an estate sale and texted everybody about what do you want, and gave it away to kids and grandkids, and then had an estate sale after that. Anything you can do ahead of time is always helpful, but if you're at alert, there are always people that can help you out to help with the process. So step number 1 is to really prioritize those things that you really love. Maybe you're not ready to say, hey, I'm moving in a couple months. I want to take these things. Maybe you are, so you want to prioritize those items that fit into that new space. That's really important. But maybe you just are thinking, you know what? in the future, this item doesn't mean too much to me. Or maybe my daughter or my son or my granddaughter might really love this item and I don't need it. So, really starting to prioritize and look at things that you use on a daily basis. If you're like me, there's a lot of things that I do not use. I think I might use them, or I thought I might use them, or I paid money for them, so I feel like I have to use them. Sometimes those items just need to go on to a new place, to a new home, whether that's with family or donating them, that type of thing. So tip 1 is step 2 or tip 2 is if you do have family heirlooms and you're in the process of possibly having an estate sale or a liquidator come in, something like that, you really want to make sure that you identify clearly that these items are there to stay. So if a liquidator, for instance, is coming in to kind of evaluate the price and what they're going to offer you, you want to make sure they know that, hey, this really nice dresser is going to be staying here, or I'm going to take it with me, or my family's taking it. Make sure that those are clearly marked so that there's no confusion later on. Same thing with an estate sale. You want to make sure that they know what are the items that they are going to be selling, because that's going to make a difference in the price and what they kind of can estimate is going to be a profit to have an estate sale for you. Tip 3 is if you have some sentimental items, which, most of us do, right? So let's just say maybe you're going to store some of these items. You want to think about if it needs to be climate controlled, like, sometimes pictures and things like that, they get too hot in some of these outdoor storage units. So you want to make sure that you're thinking about what you're going to be storing and what type of storage you need. One tip that I have that a friend of mine kind of turned me on to is for pictures or some of those things where we just, I have boxes of them, it feels like, is to make either an album or to, and just really save those special pictures. Sometimes family will be able, can put that together for you and you can take that new album with you to where you're moving. Another thing is that there's the picture frames now where you can just upload and scan in hundreds of pictures, and then it just goes through kind of a rotation of those pictures. And it's a great way to have those pictures there, but not physically have them there. So those are some nice options for some of those sentimental items. So tip 4 is if you have some things that you don't want, and maybe you're not doing an estate sale, or maybe you're not having a liquidator come in, but you can call several different charitable organizations. Many of those charitable places will come and pick up those items for you. So that makes it a lot easier if you're not, having to take it somewhere to do that. So tip number 5 is to give yourself some time and some grace to go through this process. Of course, if you don't have much time, I would have some other people come in with you. But if you have time, allow yourself to kind of go through those things and be okay with giving away some of those things that no longer, are special to you or were special to you at one point, and now maybe somebody else could use it somewhere else. One of the hardest things, I think, is trying to sell our items and getting so much less than we think that it's worth, right? And it's so hard to predict what things are going to be worth. A refrigerator that has been great and still runs but is older could barely be worth anything, but you have this crazy pot out in the garden that somebody pays $50 for, right? It's so hard to tell. Plus, times change. Right now, mid-century modern items are a thing and people love those, right? But there was a time where we were just getting rid of those things all the time, or things that have gold on them. That wasn't a thing. Now it's a thing. So sometimes it's hard to predict what items are going to sell and what items are not going to sell. And it can be hard to give away things. Just think of it as kind of spreading that love and giving it to the next person that, could really use something like that. I hope some of these tips were helpful, and I look forward to seeing you back here on some other videos. Make sure you subscribe, and if you've missed part 1, 2, or 3, check those out, and I hope to see you back here soon.